This will be a real quick video on a shortened video of what I call the MIG TIG or MIG rod welding technique, which I use for filling in large gaps. I'm just going to skip the explanation and just tell you that right away that at some point you're going to have to fill in a large gap for whatever reason. And so what I like to do is I just get a steel rod like this, or depending on the thickness or the width of the gap and the thickness of the material. Here's a slightly smaller rod, smaller diameter, or you could use wire, or I've even used flat bar on some occasions. Over here I didn't have a wide enough one, so I just tack welded two of them together. And sometimes I'm just using a regular MIG torch, MIG gun for welding, and then what I'll do is I'll weld here, and I'll actually push the rods in to the weld puddle, where I'll just keep a light pressure on it, and it'll, as soon as it melts, it goes in by itself, just like the same concept used in TIG welding. That's why I called it MIG TIG welding. Or sometimes I can just weld over it. I'll just throw it in the gap like that. Sometimes I'll even beat it with the hammer, beat it down with the hammer, so that it really falls into the groove there. So I get a nice flat weld, and I'll just weld on it. And that just saves a lot of time and hassle. Now for smaller gaps like this here, which is not too bad, I'll just crank the wire speed up to maximum, and that'll take care of it. But for something this big, I use that. Now sometimes I'll also, instead of doing that, I'll just put a piece of flat bar behind it. So basically like this, I get a piece of this and I put it in the back here. And then I just use the U-shape weld pattern. So I could do that. Problem with doing that is that it doesn't look very nice, but it works. So I do that sometimes as well. So hopefully that helps anybody curious on how to fill in big gaps.